Number 4, from the Daily Wire, it says, actress and abortion activist Busy Phillips has revealed that her 12-year-old child is gay and uses they, them pronouns. Speaking on an episode of her podcast, Busy Phillips is Doing Her Best, that's the name of the podcast, she said that her child, Birdie, came out as gay. She said, quote, for those of you who are my friends listening at home, this is the first you're hearing that Birdie is gay and out. Birdie told us at 10 years old, and we immediately knew. We knew that Birdie knew. So let's go to a clip from the podcast now. Here she is, Busy Phillips, recounting a conversation with her 12-year-old daughter, who she saddled with the name Birdie, which was really just the first of many abuses, it turns out. Listen to this.
Bird said, I said, Bird, I've been doing a bad job with the pronouns because Birdie said that they would like their pronouns to be they, them. And I haven't been doing it. And I said, because I have this public persona and I want Birdie to be in control of their own narrative and not have to answer to anybody outside of our friends and family if they don't want to. Mm-hmm. And then Bird was like, I don't give a you can talk about that I'm gay and out. You can talk about my pronouns. That would be cool with me. That's great. So I said, okay, I can talk about it on the podcast. And Birdie was like, yeah, talk about it on the podcast, Mom. I was like, okay. Threw my phone on the ground. Sorry. Anyway, so, yeah, it's been wild. So Birdie, my out kid, prefers they, them. I f*** up sometimes. But I'm trying my best.
I wish this was similar to the Kamala Harris situation, and I could say that this is an invented conversation that she had with her 12-year-old daughter. But I don't think it is. I think that, unfortunately, that conversation really happened, where her 12-year-old daughter was telling her pronouns, and then when Busy Phillips asked whether she could reveal this on the podcast, the 12-year-old daughter responded, I don't give an F. I think that's a real conversation, because that's the kind of mother that Busy Phillips is. Now, it shouldn't surprise us, as was noted, she's an abortion activist, and she's bragged in the past about getting abortions. So this is how she sees her children. She sees her children, as unfortunately many parents, especially on the left, do, in a dehumanized way. She sees her child as either trash that can be discarded, like the one that she killed, or as political prop. Or even not a political, just a prop. Something to be shown around. An accessory, maybe is a better word for it. And that's what she's doing here. Kind of like locking her daughter in to this identity by announcing it publicly. There's no good reason. There's no good, loving, parenting sort of reason to take your child's confusion and they're working through it and you just broadcast it to the entire world. That's not going to help you. I mean, even for a moment, just putting aside everything else and pretending that it could be legitimate for a 12-year-old to identify as they, them, or it could be legitimate for anyone to identify as they, them, which of course it isn't, because it doesn't mean anything. But putting that aside, just there's no reason to tell the world about it. There's no reason to publicize it. She's 12 years old, for God's sake. How will it benefit her for the whole world to know about this? And Busy Phillips says, well, I asked her and she said she doesn't give an F, so I did it. Yeah. Once again, this is the theme we see so often, especially with parents who have children who are gender confused. So often what we see are the parents looking to the children for guidance. The parents saying to the kids, you show me the way. You tell me what I'm supposed to do here. I'll let you take the lead. No, that's not what you say to your 12-year-old. That's not what you say to your 12-year-old. Your 12-year-old needs you to be the adult. Your 12-year-old needs you to be the rational one. Your 12-year-old needs you to be the one who can see beyond the nose on your face, who can think in the long term. Kids can't do that. That's the point. Psychologically, they don't have the capacity yet for things like long-term planning. They can't do that at 12. They can't do it at 16. They certainly can't do it at 7 or 8 or whatever other age now where kids are quote unquote deciding they want to transition. They don't have the psychological, neurological capacity for it. You do, or you're supposed to as an adult. So you're supposed to be the one who says, listen, no, I'm not going to put this out there for the whole world. We're going to keep this between us, private. And also, you're obviously confused. You're working through some things. Let me help you out. We'll take you to counseling. Let's try to figure out what's really going on here. You're a girl. It's wonderful that you're a girl, but you don't want to identify as a girl. There's obviously something happening here. So let's figure it out. You take the child to counseling. You help them. If your child comes to you and says, I'm they, them, that is your child saying, I am confused. I don't understand. I don't know who I am. And I don't know who I am because you, the parent, have failed. It's your job to help me figure out who I am. To help me figure out, if I'm a girl, what it means to be a girl in the world. You're the mother. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what your child is really saying to you. Only they're not saying exactly that audibly because they don't have the capacity to say it. They don't understand their own feelings. This kind of thing will never fail to just infuriate me. Especially as a parent. Now, I don't think you need to be a parent to be disgusted and infuriated by this kind of madness, but as a parent, I have kids myself, and the idea of me turning to them for guidance, or the idea that they would make some mostly incoherent declaration about their own identity, and I would just take it seriously and assume that it's meaningful and just go with it. It's mind-boggling to me. They're kids. I'm the adult. That's the way the relationship is supposed to work. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.